and welcome to Polstream's Real Engagement webinar, the latest in a series of collaborative learning sessions for and by members of the Polstream community. My name is David Bader. I'm happy to again be your host for this against all odds version of our broadcast. Believe it or not, it's been an eventful day here at Polstream. We're in the midst of a move to our fancy new digs at 18 Hook Avenue in Toronto. Of course, the G20 conference is making it challenging for not only ourselves, but guests to our city to navigate their way around. Stephen, our president and founder, is a little bit under the weather, and so you may notice a tickle in his throat as he speaks today. And believe it or not, I couldn't make this up if I tried. 5 minutes ago, we actually had an earthquake in Toronto. Everyone is okay, and we're happy to move on and give you our broadcast today. So I'm glad to have many of our customers and partners with us today. For those of you that are new to Polstream, we're a leading provider of interactive engagement and community building solutions. Our clients leverage our two-way dialogue tools to effectively engage, educate, and inform customers and employees online to drive action offline. Our poll, quiz, comment engine, Sparkplug, and Hive solutions tap into participants' fundamental desire to connect, declare and compare ideas, and earn recognition. Polstream quickly transforms this desire into a relevant and rewarding exchange that builds meaningful relationships and community. Bringing our quick commercial to a close, if you'd like to learn more about the work we do, I encourage you to email me personally at david@polstream.com. We're thrilled to welcome Roy Saunderson, President and founder of the Recognition Management Institute, to join our dialogue today. In our conversation, Roy will share some real-world examples of what it takes to create a culture that engages and supports appreciation, praise, and recognition. Roy will later be joined by Polstream's founder and president, Stephen Green, for a conversation about how social business software can enlist the entire organization in a cooperative effort to recognize good work. To help frame our conversation, we'll take a look at what TD Canada Trust has done with their Wow Moments program, which leverages the Hive. Before I formally introduce the stars of our show, a few housekeeping items. Our session is about an hour long. When our speakers are done, we'll allow for a question and answer period. We've already begun to receive questions from some of you, and I encourage you to continue sending them our way throughout the hour using the Q&A chat tab. In the event we can't get to your question today, we'll be sure to follow up with you. A recorded version of this broadcast will be made available for you, as will a downloadable version of the presentation, which we encourage you to enjoy, but also share with your colleagues. And as ever, we want to continue to make these sessions great. So if you have a comment, we want to hear it. If you have a suggestion, share it, a recommendation, we'd love to receive it. The difference between what a worker is required to do and the higher level of performance a worker is capable of is known as discretionary effort. As far back as the 1890s, George Eastman recognized that a solid core of highly engaged employees were the heart of his enterprise. When he began paying his employees dividends out of his own pocket, he discovered that a small bonus was enough to encourage employees to perform above what their job descriptions required. It turns out that the cash Eastman handed his employees might not have been as important as the fact that he took the time to recognize their contributions. According to the massive global workforce survey conducted by Towers Watson, the single most important driver of discretionary effort is recognition. Praise and recognition are powerful workplace motivators. They cost little to nothing and are most effective when they're handed out in public. And yet, too many organizations rely on quarterly recognition events and performance reviews to praise their hardest workers when they really should be delivering recognition on the spot, catching employees in the act of a job well done. While terms like employee engagement and discretionary effort were introduced to the lexicon as recently as the early 90s, they actually find their roots in studies of morale that date back to the 1920s. U.S. Army researchers focused on morale quite a bit during the Second World War in an effort to predict unity and readiness for battle. What they saw then is what we see now. Individuals are motivated by intrinsic factors like personal growth and common purpose to a much greater extent than extrinsic ones like pay and reward. We are greater than the sum of our parts. United we stand, divided we fall. There is no I in team. Truisms all, but the reality is that our emotional attachments to our organizations, our colleagues, and our roles aside, we're all individuals. Organizations that consistently identify and recognize the motivations of individual employees earn trust and build stronger relationships. Social business software can really help us capture and share these moments. By enlisting the entire workforce into a cooperative effort to recognize good work, Managers can make praise both immediate and highly visible throughout the organization. Employees can also play a role by giving a company-wide pat on the back to fellow workers who might not even be on the boss's radar. Towers-Watson underscored the value of the quality of the working relationships with peers, superiors, and subordinates in a recent study, noting, if these relationships are fractured, then no amount of perks will persuade employees to perform at top levels.